So, guys, I'm checking out this new Morrissey album. And for all of you who don't know who Morrissey is, he was part of one of the greatest bands ever, which is the Smiths. I'm a huge fan of the Smiths. I always thought they were poetic and deep and stuff like that, and all that jazz. And How Soon Is Now, I found very a nice song, even though it's kind of meandering in some parts. But you know what? That beat, it was very nice, especially with the guitar coming in. Very awesome. Very nice band. Definitely one of the candidates for the greatest bands ever. Very nice. So checking out this new Morrissey album, Low in Low in High School. You know, pretty nice title, pretty nice concept for the album and stuff like that. So let's get into it. Now, one thing about Morrissey is he's pretty pretentious, and in this album, nothing really changes, except this album carry out themes like the idea of being lonely without somebody or not feeling content with the placement you have in life. Tracks like I Wish You Lonely and Jacky's Only Happy When She's on Stage, and also tracks like Home is a Question Mark, Spend the Day in Bed, all talk about feeling lonely and how he feels isolated. Now these tracks and this whole album can really be boiled down into two ideas, love and war. The love of music or the war of the worlds and stuff like that. Very nice track listing. Except for In Your Lap and When You Open Your Legs, which I feel kind of targets or tackles the idea of sex and attraction in a very kiddish way. And Morrissey have said that he's asexual, so he's not really into sex. So I expect this from him. But still, not two of my favorite tracks. And also, I kind of think that Morrissey is like Willow Smith, and even Willow Smith had a song called Israel like Morrissey, and how, except Morrissey is very well, like very better with pulling off the idea of being deepness and being deeper than her on a lyrical level, but still they have the same problems. Morrissey, he wants to tackle these political ideas and stuff like that, but instead of being enlightening, he's just reporting, like telling us very vague ideas. Like, I don't know if he's pro Israel or anti Israel, but there is a heavy Jewish theme in this whole album with the girl from Tel Aviv, Israel, all referencing Israel, as we can see. And you know, it's nice and all, but I wish he would go into more deeper detail of how he feels about Israel treatment of Palestine and overall, you know, stuff like that. Now, I have to say the first track starts off with a very nice instrumental. I really like the horns on the first track. And also, Home is a Question. Start off with this. I don't know. It just sounds Christmas like. That's all I can explain it. And speaking of the lyrical vagueness, tracks like Who Will Protect Us from the Police, very vague. What is the police doing that makes you want to be protected from them? I know that police have a violent history, but you're not really going into detail why you need to be protected by the police. Get what I'm saying? Now, when you open your legs, it kind of has like this Spanish feel, you know. So I really like it. Well, at least that part of the song, I should say. And you know what? Spend the day in bed talks about not like reading the news or even listening to the news. And probably that's why this album seems so vague to me. When you talk about politics, it must be like hard hitting or informative. Otherwise, it's just like a boring ass lecture to me. Stuff like that. That's how I feel. And I kind of find it funny that he has a song called Home is a question mark, but on the next track he's spending his day in bed. So he must be not that uncomfortable with his home since he's spending his day in bed. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, who idea was it to put crickets on a Morrissey album? He already has a slow he already have like a slow way of singing and performing and stuff like that. So it kind of just puts it in my mind that he's Snorsy, fucking. That's what I like to say. But overall, pretty nice instrumentation. I wish Morrissey, for a person who likes to explain himself as a vocalist who has so much emotion and stuff, he's not putting in the ideas or the lyrical concepts to even get me emotive. I mean, just because you're talking about death and violence, you're not talking about it in a unique way that actually draws me into it. Stuff like that. So overall, I'm going to give this Morrissey album a 6. You know, pretty okay album from Morrissey. I much prefer the stuff he did with the Smiths, you know, stuff like that. But overall, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the video where you can. And you know what? I'm out, guys. Peace.